they like to be like a family-oriented thing. So if a groom takes care of a horse won't run sometimes if you change grooms, and that's the difference in this game. Sometimes you get grooms that once they bond, if he doesn't take the horse over in the paddock, it's not going to run. I mean,
I think we've seen that with Rich Strike.
yeah.
That's kind of what you're saying. Like, they change grooms.
Horses are very intelligent. The problem with this game is people don't realize how intelligent they are. I brought a horse in here to run that if I didn't come with the horse, not only will he not run, they won't get him to the paddock. He's that strong, yeah. The grooms, it really matters. I can't emphasize it enough how much it really matters, but without a good groom with the horse and the bond that they have, you're just not going to walk in somebody's barn and go to the back of a horse and handle them if you've never handled and the horse doesn't know you. It doesn't work that way.
How did you get started in this life?
My father was a jockey, and my father's father rode. So I'm a three-generation rider. I rode since 1974. 2001, I got hurt bad, and that was it.
What was the game like in the 70s?
I didn't call myself a jockey. I called myself a race rider because I do what I had to do to win. And if you did the stuff we did back then, today, you would get the parking lot. There was stuff. That guy that was just here, Wayne Catalano, was one of the great riders I've ever been in Detroit. One of the best riders I've ever been with. Now he's training horses also. But we could get away with a lot more back then.
So that's the biggest difference. Huh?
Yeah.
And what made the horsemen so special back then? Them guys that
we were a closer knit to each other. Like it got to be like we were all family. And plus, as far as the trainers go, you had your Vanbergs, and back then, Jack Vanberg, they would stick with a rider. If they don't really do that anymore, not like they used to. You're going to see if a horse wins, they put the rider back on the horse. Back then, they would stick with it. If you didn't, Wayne Catalano rode the whole barn for Vanberg. So unless you rode the horse maybe 3 or 4 times and didn't get no run out of them, they would switch riders. But they stuck with a rider more than they do today.
And what's the best horse you ever rode?
The best horse I ever rode, I think, was a horse called Thumbsucker. I won the Michigan Mile on him. He was very special. I won the Esplanade here. He was probably a poor man's horse. And why I say a poor man's horse, because he had so much talent, but if you saw him, you wouldn't think he was a racehorse. He looked more like a cow, but he could run. And I'd say he was the best. And the second horse would be a horse called Construction at Steve Turpinich had. We won all the stakes here in Louisiana. So,
who was your mentor?
You're looking at my mentor. Me. I was gifted as a child, a young child, riding from the time I was born. And once I started, I had people like Sammy Palumbo, Joe Clemone. These are all-time greats out of Maryland. Nick Shuck. They were the people that I learned under. Hardtack, Arcaro. You don't have those anymore. Matter of fact, I rode the last race Arcaro rode with him. So, them days are, the real greats are gone. They have good riders today, but not like it was back then. Different surface or racetracks, different attitudes of people. Jockeys were really respected back then.
Throughout all your accomplishments, which one would you say is the one you're most proud of?
I had I would say as a trainer, I had a filly that I bought for $5,000, and I took my time with her. I couldn't win a race with her as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, I didn't run her much. And the 4-year-old, I wound up running her the first time for 12.5 and came right off the 12.5 race, put in 100,000 and she win. I mean, horse called Money or Love. But that was my biggest accomplishment.
And you know, in your lifetime, right? Who goes down as the best trainer for you? Your personal.
By far, Woody Stevens.
Woody Stevens. Why Woody for you?
Because Woody was, Woody got on, I used to ride for him, he got on me tough, but I used to watch the way he fed horses, the way he was very meticulous and would make sure everything was done. Like he wouldn't just say to a groom, you do this. He's walking behind you. So he was probably the best.